Hope you're having a good Sunday afternoon. Welcome back to our second hour of Role Play Blades. We've set a plan, and we're headed to the cathedral. I feel like this is kind of like a scene out of Ghostbusters, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're arriving at the hotel lobby with the traps. Yeah. So you approach the Spirit Warden's cordon, and an officer of the Wardens in his crimson long coat and Spirit Warden mask, flanked by a couple other Wardens in their masks and some blue coats that have been assigned to the job. They come down out of the little wagon command center thing, and the Spirit Warden holds his palm up, and you can't see their face under the mask, obviously, but cocks their head sideways a little bit as these huge suits of armored knights clump up to a stop. And then they look back at the other warden behind them, and they exchange a whisper under their breath. And the sort of lieutenant warden steps forward and eyeballs you guys, all kitted out with all your stuff, weapons and everything.
Do they know that Dunville's dead?
You don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you guys know what they know.
Okay.
The church...
Who else is here, like, at the church? Like, who's kind of in charge, I guess?
Caro is in charge, yeah. He's yeah, Caro. He's Carolus' contact, and he's in charge of the cathedral.
Okay.
But he's not visible here right now.
Can I... So I pull out my Spirit Warden mask that I have.
Okay.
And I like put it on. And I look at the other Spirit Wardens and I say, all right, Carol wants to see these.
Okay.
So convince them that
you're delivering the knights and your group inside.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Let's see how that goes.
Okay.
They're dubious, I would say, probably, but
yeah.
That's why I rolled dice. So it sounds like you're swaying them. You're saying, no, I'm supposed to be here. This is all legit.
Yes.
Okay. So you're gonna sway.
My one.
This can be a group action if anybody wants to participate with you, who might actually be good at swaying.
You guys have a lot of maybe academy because you don't have any stress, right?
I have no stress, yeah.
How's your sway?
I have a 2 in sway, actually.
My sway is also 2.
Okay.
So
I can lead the group action if you guys want to do that.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Risky, you said then, John?
It's risky.
And this specifically just to like sell them our story.
For them to let us pass, yeah.
I think having a Spirit Warden mask is kind of a big deal. It's the kind of thing that Spirit Wardens, they assume that it's not possible really to have one when you're not legit.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there any? And I guess I need a little bit of advice maybe to know. But would maybe this be an appropriate place for me to pull out the necklace?
The Eye of Kotar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it. So
I mean, would it legitimize?
It's huge. Are you wearing it under your shirt? Are you doing the wrap it with gauze thing that Dumbo was doing? Like, or are you carrying it some other way?
Right. That's right. Yeah, I think I would be wearing it like Dunville was wearing it.
Yeah.
So can I expose? Oh, but they would know Dunville had it.
Yeah.
But there's 6 of them, right?
There's 6 of the Spirit Wardens. Yeah. There's
no. I thought you said there were like 6 eyes.
Oh yeah. There are multiple eyes. Yes, that's true. Showing them the artifact it's risky.
Okay,
I'll give you a bonus die. That's a good devil's bargain because it'll potentially like make you seem like you have more authority and that you're like some kind of agents of the church. But
okay.
it's showing that you have it is obviously like tip in your hand. But yeah, I'd give you a bonus die for that, for a devil's bargain.
Okay.
Totally.
All right. Let's do that.
Okay.
So risky standard.
It's actually a great effect. I didn't get to say that before Jeff rolled, but because of your spirit warden mask. It's a great
Risky great?
Yep.
And you get a bonus die.
Yeah.
Yes.
You get a bonus die.
Oops.
Hey, look at that, Rune.
Nice.
Nice.
Oof,
Well,
fuck
needed it.
God, dude.
wow.
How much stress did I take then?
You take 2 stress.
Well,
Um,
why did you just Aldo just rolled? Also,
Aldo didn't have to roll. I guess he just felt like it.
Aldo didn't roll.
more stress.
I thought it was a group
No.
action.
It is a
Not-
group
not
action,
has-
but you don't have to participate. You're not forced to participate in this case. Sometimes
Yeah.
you
Oh.
are, sometimes you're not.
Okay. Well, then I definitely wouldn't have because I don't have any dice.
Yeah, I assumed you were not participating.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll take the 2 stress.
Doesn't matter. Roll to 6 and 2017. Nice one, Rune. Yeah, so they see the mask and they see the Eye of Kotar that Miss Cataby shows under her shirt, and they immediately turn and have a close conversation. The 2 spirit wardens and the blue coats are looking back and forth like they don't know what's up. And then one of the spirit wardens walks forward and says, "It's good that you're here. There's an incident inside. I assume that the church has sent for you."
Yes, absolutely. That's why we're here.
Please come this way. And they take you through the cordon. They move the electroplasmic gates aside so you can go up the steps. And then they shut them behind you, and you guys go in. The knights clomp their way up the stairs. And you open the huge main cathedral doors are closed, and there's a small inset door, person-sized door that you can push open and go through. And beyond is a foyer and the interior cathedral doors, which are closed. There's a huge bar, a castle anti-besieging, giant piece of wood bar has been put down across the cathedral doors. And there's a circular ward drawn in quicksilver or electroplasm or something on the floor that seals off that doorway and the 2 other exits that go deeper into the cathedral. And in here is Caro, the church official that you've dealt with before, Carolus, somewhat older dude in his church robes, but he's haggard. He hasn't slept. His hair's all messed, and his robes are just a bit disheveled. And there's church acolytes, some of them sleeping, just fallen down on the floor asleep with exhaustion. Others are still kneeling by the wards and doing some kind of ritual or something. And beyond the doors, you hear the telltale sound. You hear pews being smashed, people running around, heavy thumps, stone crashing into stone, mayhem beyond the door. And Caro rushes over to you and the knights. Maybe an interesting bit of information here, Jeff. As Caro rushes over, the knights part for him without you giving them the command to.
Okay.
And he, with no propriety whatsoever, and not intimidated by you like he usually is, he grasps you by the collar, by the shirt, and he says, "Thank fortune you're here. The beast. What happened? What happened below? Something has been unleashed. We need you, please. You must help us, please."
Carolus grasps him by the shirt in the exact same way and looks down into him and says, "Thank not fortune. I heard your cries. I'm here once more to relieve you of another plague. Dunville and his cancerous goons were experimenting with things beyond their capabilities, and they have released a fellow demon, but one that is more feral and less understanding of where it is."
He says, "This creature was here. A demon? Can we use it? Can we use it for the ascension?"
I believe it's working its blessings right now on a lot of your people. Yeah.
There's a cry of pain inside. And he goes pale a little bit and kind of takes you at your word and believes you, like, that this is what's required, that maybe this is all according to some demonic plan or something. You've got that hold over this dude. He's the guy. He believes you're a demon messiah. Yeah. He's the one in the church that buys everything. And so when you say that, he swallows and like takes it super seriously. Like, oh, okay, we have to let the demon kill a bunch of people in order to help us along in our path towards ascension.
Careless says, "Let me confer with my associates on how best to handle the situation, and I'll be right back." Then he lets go of his shirt.
Yeah, Carol, he wanders away, kind of staring at the floor, like realizing, oh no, I can't save my people. This is all part of the plan or whatever.
And then I kind of go back to the group and say, what exactly happened that this demon did show up? How did that happen?
The spirit of Dunville is the demon you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
No.
No? Oh, okay. Then I didn't understand where the demon came from.
I'm only asking this mechanically because Careless did not see the heart get removed from the pillar that I do understand to be what is the demon, but it came out of a sarcophagus in the pole, or in the post.
Yeah, the pillars had a sarcophagus inside it, and it came out of that. And Miss Cataby, you did research. You know that the power of the eye, when you took the eye of Kotar from Dunville, whatever he had done to command demons before was undone. So you have the eye now, and whatever he had done to command that demon into the sarcophagus stopped working.
Right.
But you know how to use the eye. You can use the eye to command demons, presumably.
So I mean, would I be confident enough that I could explain this to Careless?
Yeah. You did the research. I think you understand it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I kind of, you see there's this pillar, and it, the middle of all the shit that was going down, it broke open, and I saw inside, and there's this heart, and I kind of keep going, and then the two guys had a fish bowl on their head, and they just drowned, and it was fucking crazy, and explain it, and then
I was looking at really certain, smiling of course, but
every detail basically about that whole fight, and then say, yeah, and I'm pretty sure removing the heart from the pillar was what unleashed the demon.
Okay, Miss Cataby, do not take offense to this, as I'm still trying to figure these things out, but you are getting wordy like Aldo. It's incredibly important for the team dynamic that you are aware of this, and you work against it at... I don't want to make it the most important thing, but it's up there. It seems to be that our issue is that Dunville was able to bind the demon to the sarcophagus. Now, Aldo, when you hurled the sarcophagus, did you see it suffer damage? Or does it seem to be a still functioning sarcophagus?
Are you talking? I thought you said Aldo. Sorry.
He did say Aldo.
You said Aldo?
Yeah.
He did say Aldo.
Okay.
Well, I threw the thing, and I'm not sure if it smashed to pieces or whatever, but it was pinning down Dunville at the end there, so it was still in mostly one piece.
Yep.
He looks over at Miss Cataby and says, I'm sure you're aware of the problem. Be that as it is, then, I believe we could perhaps once again bind this demon to the sarcophagus, as much as it pains me, by the way. It is a star demon. It's meant to be soaring above us, free as a bird, as it were, but in this case, we're going to bind it to a tiny space for all of eternity. It's not a good thing. But we should do that so that we can secure payment and move on to White Crown, where we will be selling off the sexuality of Miss Cataby at the behest of a vampire. Much more exciting. Now, the bad news is they have warded off the entry and exit to that room. I cannot pass it. Most of me cannot pass it.
Question.
So, yes.
Right, yeah.
Who's paying us? Do we need to deal with this demon before getting paid, or can we just take our money and leave?
Very good, Rune. Let me put it in terms you'll best understand. There is a gigantic river of electroplasm that we now own as we removed its tenants from its ownership. I intend to have the church get 50% of that because I am a demon-y man. And then the other 50% will sell in the open market through the church, which is zero effort on our part. And we will get, I don't know, 30 coin, maybe 40.
Asset collection.
Yes.
Yeah, to answer your question, and the Caro is the guy who's supposed to pay you. The dude here in the
Who's
church.
freaking out?
Yeah.
It's like having a mental breakdown.
He
So what's
is.
money?
He's kind of checked out at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we have to bind the demon to the part that Cataby has? How do we do that?
You demand that it goes into the sarcophagus, much like he tried to do with me earlier. I was able to resist it, but this is a feral demon. It should be much more... Well, I mean, we've already seen it. It has been bound. That's why it's here.
All right, Cataby. Feeling talkative?
Well, I suppose I could use some help on, some words, and like I wasn't totally paying attention when Dunville was using it, and I've done some research, and well, frankly, you're better at the supernatural thing than I am, so maybe you've got some pointers.
It seems that whoever is in possession of the item is the one who can give the commands. So if you give the heart to Carolus, then he should just be able to tell the demon to get into the sarcophagus. You're the one who felt it happen to you when Dunville tried to order you into it, and you were able to resist.
It's the eye of Kotar. It's the necklace that she's wearing. The heart, I don't actually understand at all.
Whatever the item is, take it, tell the thing to get into the sarcophagus so we can get paid and get out of here.
He considers this for a second. It's like, I don't know that I can use that.
Then Cataby, you've got it. One of you has to man up.
Maybe I misspoke, but okay, I just compel the demon. Just tell it what to do. Okay, I got it.
Yes.
Great.
And then he turns on his heel, goes over to Caro, and explains to him what the plan is, I guess.
Yeah, you're gonna go past the ward, presumably. Careless, you can attempt to do that.
I guess he asked, "Can I get past that word?" Because I said to the group, I can't go in there.
Yeah, I think it goes back to your demonhood question, right?
2 out of 4, bro.
Yeah, you can try.
Okay.
That's a thing you can try to do.
And when they see us talking, they see him shrug, and then they see me shrug, and I guess that's that part.
Yeah. Cataby, are you opening the small door to the cathedral proper and stepping in first to command the demon, or is there some other arrangement here?
So I guess I would say so I don't suppose you'd go in before me, just to ensure that I could compel in case it tries to attack me or anything like that.
The knights will be in there for sure. I'm going to attempt to walk past the ward in the manner of being completely open with you all. I'm a little bit apprehensive because if I am able to walk past it, it means my greatest fears are true. And if I cannot walk past it, it means I'm not as cool of a demon as I thought I was. So this is a lose-lose for Careless Firm as we know it.
Okay. So I guess, yeah, then the knights would go in first.
Yep.
Sure.
Maybe I would go.
And them to do that to sort of vanguard in front of you, Miss Cataby, so you're not instantly jumped on. and Careless. So say again, Jeff. It would be your desire for the word to stop you from going through. Yes. Like that would be a win for you.
Part of Careless wants to be stopped by it, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So why don't you roll? Give me a fortune roll with your 2 demon dice, and a positive result means it means the word stops you. Your demonhood comes through. There
Positive?
you go. Yeah. So you command the knights. Everyone gets in position. You know, it's going to be like a breach, basically, right? The lead knight is ready to swing the door open, and everyone's going to rush in at once, and so you get in position, and the knights move. The door opens. Cataby goes in behind the vanguard of knights, and Careless, you got a 5. So as you start to pass the ward, you're just about crossing it, and you feel this horrible energy buzz through your bones, and you realize, like, oh wow, like this is really getting me in a bad way. It's not completely stopping you, but you can just feel it in your bones. You can force your way through, but it's gonna really hurt you if you do.
He stops and takes a step back, sheaths his sword, puts his hands behind his back, and says, "I'll be waiting over here."
Yeah.
Can I use attune to like ward him, kind of?
Oh, to let him slip past?
Yeah, as like a protective thing.
You could, yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Stand still, Careless.
You can try to bend the energy around him so it doesn't affect him.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that. So, what kind of position am I in?
It's risky. The ward's not trying to hurt you, so it's risky because you're stepping in to control it in standard effect.
Great. 6.
Nice.
Sweet.
So out of the corner of your eye, Careless, you see Caro. His head snaps around because there's this audible like sizzling and hissing noise coming from you, and his head snaps and looks at you, and his eyes get really big because he's already a true believer, but now he's seeing like, oh man, this Taikarosi really is a demon. Holy crap! Oh, all my prayers have been answered. And then Rune, I think you use your. It's obvious that you use your power. Your rune maybe glows on your face, and the energy of the ward visibly manifests in the world and kind of like shimmers around Careless, and you're past it. You're going through the door. So everyone breaches together. Although maybe you're like right behind Miss Cataby, probably. When you pass the ward, although your Ghost Fighter tattoos like immediately glow on your fists. And you're into the cathedral, which has just been wrecked. It was this beautiful, probably the nicest single place in the city in terms of craftsmanship and fine materials and gold inlays and all this stuff. And it's been utterly destroyed. Most of the stonework, all the pillars are smashed. Part of the roof is caved in. All the pews are just splinters on the floor. There's dead bodies. There's blood everywhere hanging from the rafters. The star demon you see is all the way back in the if there was a massive pipe organ in this place, there isn't, but if there was, all the way back there, way up in the top towards the big stained glass window, it's this albino monster, this hairless, huge, muscly, white skinned beast with this big sharp toothed mouth and black eyes, but it's suspended in the air, glowing like you can almost not even look at it. It's the only light in the room here. All the other electroplasmic lights have been wrecked and torches are out.
And you see Aldo like go over to something that's like tattered or broken and pick up a shred or a piece of it and just look at it. Ugh. It's a damn shame, that is.
So much finery lost.
Yeah.
And we see the thing, it's like holding a person and tears them in half, just in this horrible shower of blood, and flings the parts down to the floor and glows there hovering in the air for a moment. And then like a comet, it arcs down and crashes into the floor. Stone tiles go flying. Dust is everywhere. It smashes into the first wave of knights. And I'm going to make a fortune roll here. And then we'll let Miss Cataby do what she's come to do. But let's see. I'm going to roll for the knights. They get 46 with Careless around, and they get a crit. So they step forward and like shield wall, and the power of the demon crashes against their shield wall, and bits of stone and tile and shrapnel go flying everywhere, but it sort of arcs over your guys' heads. Doesn't hit Miss Cataby or anything. And you can see between the two knights directly in front of you, Marcus, Miss Cataby, you can see this glowing explosion from where the star demon hits the ground and tries to smash his way through the knights and fails. The glowing dims down into its glowing eyes, and it rears back to do whatever it's doing next, to presumably smash the knights apart.
Great.
What do you do? Are you going to compel it?
I'm going to compel it, but like to play off of the last scene, there's this like probably somewhat awkward moment where, first off, like Cataby grabs her like inner shirt and just like like pops her chest, but of course the eye is there.
Superman.
Yeah. And then, again, like she comes to this point where she's like, this is the part I'm not really sure about. So imagine like every crazy demonic ghost thing that has ever happened in the, in the past 20 weeks, just sort of like flashes into Cataby's head. And so she's just like, she puts her arms up into the air. Demon, you are not wanted here, and you will respect the words that I am speaking to you.
Yeah.
I compel thee to get in the fucking sarcophagus and stop this madness. This was a beautiful church before you fucked it up. So do as I say.
Oh.
And then I'm just kind of like waiting.
Yeah.
I guess at that point.
Awesome. So because the knights got their crit, when you start talking demon, and you haven't immediately like given it a command, it lashes out and tries to tear one of the knights to pieces. And the knights actually fight it. They parry its blow. They take it on their shields, and they buy you time to like give the whole speech, basically. But you realize as you're doing it, like, oh shit, like I gotta really like get on this thing when I command demons, because otherwise they'll get
right.
me.
Right.
But the knights buy you time because they got a fucking awesome roll. So,
if it's possible, I will try and help attune to the power and try and enhance the power, if you will, if I can.
The power of the eye.
Yeah.
That is a thing you can do. You have a tune.
Okay.
It's taking effect right now. If you want to try to attune to it, you can. It's very dangerous, but you may do so if you want to, Zeke.
Well, the question I have too is, because I have the eye and I'm not just like trying to compel this demon out of like my own.
Right.
Could I actually use consort?
You don't have to roll, actually.
Oh, I don't.
No.
Okay.
You're going to start a new clock, a 4 o'clock. Wait, is it 4? Hang on. Let me check my notes.
Sure, it's 12. If it's bad, it's 12. It's great.
It
it's
is bad. No, it's 6. It's 6.
12 it is.
And it is use the Eye of Kotar. That's the number of times you've used it. And we're going to fill in 1.
And you said it was a 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it works. The demon follows your commands as stated. Again, Aldo can get in on this. If you want to be attuning to the eye, that's a thing you can try. You don't need to do that to make it work, though. It's working regardless.
Okay.
Would there be any benefit to attuning to the eye?
I can't think of one, but
okay.
Maybe you have ideas. It's a way to get badly hurt. That's for sure. If you had some
if you're into
alternative
that.
here, if you had some way you wanted to twist its power, you could try that. But I think if you're just like wanting to boost Miss Cataby's effect, then you don't really need to do that.
Okay.
You
Then I
can
won't.
you can just tell like this isn't out of character. You can also see that it's working, so you wouldn't necessarily.
Cool.
You wouldn't necessarily think to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you finish the speech, the Star Demon's rage, its eyes stop glowing. It stands up. Its entire demeanor changes from this murderous thing that's taking its vengeance on the people who entombed it, as far as it knows. All of its sort of personality and savagery just instantly turns off, and it stands up very robotically and turns and walks all the way, not at any particular hurry, all the way back the long way, all the way to the back of the cathedral, through a side door and out of sight. Presumably, it's just going all the way deep down into the catacombs. You guys can follow it if you want, and confirm that it goes down there and gets into the sarcophagus. Or you can be like, okay, we're done. It's up to you if you want to confirm it or not. But it's clearly following Miss Cataby's instructions.
I'll be honest, I can't believe that worked.
Me neither.
So now what?
You did it.
Careless sheaths his sword, smiles, walks out to Caro, and says, "We shall be discussing our payment." There is a river of ectoplasm in the lower levels that you will now be free to go to with this demon. By the way, it's in the sarcophagus, and we are not sure about this, but it can go inside the pillar to store it. Either way, you can do with that as you will. Actually, that demon is my gift to you. But the electroplasm, I want to donate 50% of that to the church to go towards the repairs of this beautiful celebration of demonhood. The other 50%, I'd like you to buy from me or sell so that I can use that money to further my cause.
Yeah, he's agog and not just sort of half listening to you. He looks past through the doorway into the cathedral and sees the destruction and that the demon is gone, and looks back at you. And he actually gets down on his knees and like bows to Careless. He would like reach out and like kiss your shoes or something maybe if it wouldn't be weird. But he just
hugely healing for Careless. He doesn't show it outwardly, but he's extremely happy.
All the other acolytes shuffle over and they follow suit. They bow with him, and you realize like he's not really exactly paying attention to what you're saying, but he's nodding along and just kind of going, yes, of course, of course. So we can montage here a little bit. I think situation resolved. You guys learned that the eye is no joke and it can just fucking get demons as long as Miss Cataby has time to talk. And I think we'll cut away to an hour later or something. You guys are coming back out of the cathedral. Caro's made himself presentable. Aldo and maybe a few others of you are carrying lock boxes of coin or however you want to transport it. Maybe some church acolytes are carrying them. I guess the knights can carry that, actually. That makes more sense.
How much money do we have?
Yeah. So
All
let
the
me.
monies.
Your immediate payment for Dunville is 12 coin.
How much money is in our stash or like our vault, our like crew vault? Is it full?
Let's see. I haven't looked at it in a little while. It's almost full. You have one free spot in your crew vault.
Okay.
So then there's 11 more. Or can each of you take 3? Are you getting?
Yeah.
For that for sure, John. But there's so much more
Yes.
to carry, isn't there?
Well, so the electroplasmic sales like haven't gone down yet. So you've made a deal to split that 50-50. But obviously, it's not like, oh, we just sold it right now. Here's the money.
Right.
I'll figure out how much that's worth, and they'll pay you that. They'll send it over or whatever when the money is.
But we each take 3 for now.
If you can, then that's
Oh.
probably the easiest way to distribute it.
Cool.
3 each. And if you want to, we're still, like, time-wise, you guys have a little time here, especially because you're so rich. You don't have to get right on top of jobs. If you think you're going to need a bunch of extra money to do the White Crown job, then I can quickly calculate how much that's going to be, and we can do it after the...
If it's enough, I think a few of us could get to level 2
Oh, that's true.
livelihood.
Yeah. All right, let me calculate it real quick then, because that might matter. Let me pull this up. They're basically going to do. It's like you're selling contraband, basically. There's going to be there's a market for this, and you're instructing the church, like, this is my wishes.
Mm-hmm.
I need this stuff to be sold. I want the profit split. Da 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 da. And again, like, Caro's your guy at the church, so he's like, okay, this must be part of the, just like the slaughter in the cathedral. This must be part of the ascension plan in some way that I don't understand.
50% of it goes to repairing the church, though.
Yeah, he's happy about that. Okay, so it's their tier. Okay. And they are tier 4. And that's going to be like 4 halls. Minus their heat, which doesn't apply. Yeah, this is actually going to be pretty good.
All right.
Your guys' heat is 4. I would like to make a roll here. So the
But
church.
we're not selling it. We're having the church sell, remember?
Yes, you're having the church sell it. I'm going to make a roll on the Spirit Warden's behalf, because you guys are wanted and you're connected to this. Someone's investigating it, but they may not actually interfere. So I'm gonna just see if anyone gets wind of this, if they put some pieces together. Yeah, they do.
Let's kill him.
So that's gonna cost you 2 heat. This little operation.
Oh, it costs us heat. I got you.
Yeah. The church manages the sales of this weird corrupted electroplasm on the black market, and there's an open file still of, like, demonic shit, and a building got burned down and people got murdered, and like some investigator somewhere is like, okay, I think they might be connected to the church. I need to look into that.
Fair enough.
So that's the heat. And your half of the sale is 16 coin.
Okay.
32 total.
So that's another 4 for everybody, I guess.
Yeah, you could think of it that way. That's fine.
Cool.
So yeah, if you're putting those into your stashes and to get your lifestyle up, we're basically like doing a montage here where like a week goes by and you guys are getting money, you're buying new clothes, you're sort of improving your situation.
How much can I sell my pre-sword for? I'm looking for a 2 coin.
Oh, you're fine sword?
No, not my nice one. The one I had before that, though, that was still pretty cool.
Let me look.
I got this sword from the Spirit Warden guy, I think. And then the one I had before this was from the guy who had all the ghosts in his house.
Oh, it was Lord Suker's sword. You want to sell his? Yeah?
Yeah, Lord Suger's sword.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you can sell it. Let me double check his tier. It was a fine sword. And you can easily get 3 coin for it.
Nice.
Without
That.
doing a lot of negotiating and shit.
Okay. And then I have 1 coin in my stash. I put the other 3 in my thing, and now I'm a lifestyle tier 2 guy.
Cool.
a demon with lifestyle.
Mhm.
Right.
Dressed really nicely. Really good.
Is anybody else moving up to level 2?
No, I'm just one.
Oh.
Really.
One.
Yeah, I'm a couple away still.
Couple of
I
ways.
think out of all of us, you're the one who needs the most help in terms of your appearance when we're going into like a fancy place.
Yeah, probably.
It's like I could buy clothes or something that'll pass, right?
Yeah, if you guys have, if you're lifestyle 1, Careless could pass as a noble,
Oh,
or
okay.
potentially as a Leviathan Hunter student, captain student, and you guys could pass as servants or something. That's possible. It would be a little low class to have servants of level 1, and tier 2 is just barely acceptable for that kind of thing. So
Whatever. We're not moving in.
it's not ideal. Miss Academy might have to do some fast talking, but it's enough to get you across the bridge without being just constantly harassed and thrown out by the blue coats.
Okay.
I mean, wouldn't actually, based off my background, this be right at my alley?
Yeah, absolutely. You know all the right stuff to say.
Sweet.
And if you want to, also anyone who wants to pose as a noble as well can acquire an asset. You can make an acquire asset roll and maybe drop some coin on just like a temporary upgrade to your appearance. But it'll cost you 1 coin to do that, Marcus. If you also want to be a noble rather than a servant.
It'll cost me how much?
1 coin.
Okay. All right. I'll actually, technically, I could take coin out and upgrade to tier 2 lifestyle, right?
From your
Yeah.
You could move money into your stash,
And then at that point, it like wouldn't matter.
then it wouldn't matter.
I'm like actually living what I was conning for so many years.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So I need. So is the last box also count as a coin? You know how
Yeah.
in your stash?
Yeah.
Okay. So I need 3. So I'm going to go ahead and spend that 3 and also take that.
Exactly. So for people listening at home, Miss Caddy is moving 3 from her actual like spendable cash and putting it in her stash to be tier 2. So you and Careless now can pass as actual nobility, albeit not super wealthy nobility, but enough to get there.
Cool. Aldo could probably pass as like a bodyguard.
Definitely, yes. Definitely pass as a bodyguard.
And then if I want to spend 1 coin and you said an acquire asset roll. I don't know where that roll is. Is that just like a fortune?
It's a downtime activity.
Okay.
A way to get temporary access to stuff. So you could get some nice clothes that look nice, but actually, just pass for quality when they really are.
I'll do that.
Okay. That'll be enough to get you there, but let me just roll anyway. It's your tier. You guys are tier 1 now. 3. Yeah, it's enough to pass, but it's not up to close scrutiny. If somebody really messes with you, they're going to realize that you're a fake.
All right, that's fair.
Cool. So time has passed. Electroplasm deal has gone down. The inspectors have a note in a file to look into the church connection to the occult shit that's been going down in the city. And you guys are heading out. So taking the knights is kind of a double-edged sword, right? It kind of adds to your prestige. But also it's like very obvious, and
I don't think we do.
It's going to add to your heat basically for the job because they're rare and people are going to really stick out. So yeah, if you don't take them,
Skurlock, like we don't want to scare him away by any attention at all. Like Miss Cadby will be, associated with us on some level, and then we're just going into the school. So I don't think we do personally.
Okay, it's up to you. You're in charge of the knights. So,
well, I asked the group,
Yeah, I don't
speaks up, I guess.
Okay. And we're going light loads, I assume. You want to pass as nobility, not as scoundrels armed to the teeth. So cool.
But we're assassins. We can go up one, I guess, hidden.
Yeah, with light load, you still get like 2 free weapon slots, basically. So that's good. You still have your shit.
Good to go then.
Good to go. Let's do it.
Yeah. So White Crown Bridge is you're crossing over. I don't know if any of you have ever been over here in your lives. Rune and Aldo probably never did when they grew up here in the city. White Crown Bridge, it's the longest pedestrian bridge in the Empire. It's this huge feat of engineering. It's massive and clean and brightly lit. It's inlaid with silver filigree. It's this crazy, like, expensive looking, insane thing that spans Northhook Channel to the north, to White Crown, to the island there. And looming large on the other side is the Lord Governor's Palace, almost a castle keep, basically, where the Lord Governor, he's the imperial agent that runs the city for the Empire, and then the city council's like the local government. So Lord Governor kind of has this separate place where most of the imperial military guys are stationed, and it's this huge fortress off to the northeast side of the island there. To the northwest is the big lighthouse that guides the ships into the channel. And in between those 2 points are various huge estates, walled estates with lawns and gardens. They have radiant energy plants that grow there without sunlight. They have nobles' menageries where they'll get rare beasts from around the Empire and have them prowl the lawns. So there's strange creatures. There's all kinds of weird stuff behind the walls here. But the other big structure is Doskwall Academy, the university college place. It's a campus. There's many buildings, all done in kind of an older style, brick building style, not as ostentatious as the rest of White Crown is. And this is where imperial military commanders come to train, to learn their skills of war. Leviathan hunter captains train for various command duties, almost exclusively the nobility do that. And then there's also schools for occult interests and for sparkcraft, which are the engineers who build the lightning barriers and keep the cities safe using strange electroplasmic technology. They create the hulls, the automatons. So it has a college vibe, right? There's young people all about, and there's also some older people, mostly the Leviathan hunter captain types. But there's a disassembled hull outside one of the academic halls with some students that are like taking it apart and identifying the pieces, doing homework of some kind. The most of White Crown is these big estates and fancy homes with broad avenues and no real street traffic of any kind. People go to restaurants here and stuff. There aren't street vendors and things. So there's usually just 1 or 2 blue coats on any given block. There's not really any kind of trouble here. But there's still this presence of law enforcement. But as you head towards the campus, that changes. You see like lots of bodyguards. Although you see like other Aldos sprinkled about, where these younger people, nobility, come to the school. They have personal security essentially. So that's everywhere. You're seeing all kinds of these big beefy dudes and tough looking ladies like hanging around, not dressed as students, within striking distance of each other, kind of in this security posture. So you come into the main campus. There's a big open lawn with actual grass that's grown here. It's sort of bluish black in the electric lights. But I don't think you guys, I know Aldo and Rune, you've never seen like a lawn before. This is definitely unusual. I don't know if they grow in Tycheros either. This Cataby in Imperial City, you've seen all kinds of stuff before, but this is familiar to you. White Crown actually looks a lot like Imperial. I guess it looks like they're trying really hard to look like Imperial City. It's not as nice. Duskwall doesn't quite rate that highly. So for you, it's not kind of like, oh yeah, well, they're trying. But for the rest of you, this is just this rich, crazy, over the top displays of wealth. And you roughly
this is like heaven for Aldo. This is where he wants to be. This is where he wants to end up. He wants to learn and teach.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've definitely had, like, as part of your background, Aldo, did you ever sneak out and come over here, or is this your first actual visit to the real academy?
I'd imagine, like, as a younger kid, I would have, like, snuck on and, like, lurked about just to see how the other half lives.
Okay.
And stuff like that, and probably been chased off a few times by the blue coats.
Yeah. Not
saw this scruffy kid, like, hey, get back to fucking Crow's Foot where you belong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So not technically your first time here, but
yeah, but my first time actually, like, kind of blended in a little bit. Like, I'm really liking this.
Yeah.
I could do this.
Yeah. So the open space that you're headed down, it's like football field size roughly. Then there's buildings flanking it, and then a large structure in the back with a big domed roof that clearly looks, it's made of glass. It has glass panels, and it has all this complicated gear work and stuff. It looks like an observatory or something that can open and close, and maybe it's like a planetarium kind of thing. That's definitely where you're headed. That's the building for Leviathan Hunter training and Void Sea navigation. So that's where you go. You're heading up to the front doors. There's steps going up, columns flanking the steps, grand black wood doors that are polished, that are open, and beyond is carpeting laid on the floors and tall ceilinged corridors with paintings, these very severe looking dark paintings of captains with their hands thrust into their jackets and little plaques underneath commemorating who they were, and probably they gave lots and lots of money to the school over the years. And you guys have arranged, I presume, you've worked this out, so you're arriving when Admiral Velkin is there in the teaching building. Finding out her schedule is trivial, so that's easy. Cool. So we'll make the engagement roll when we come back. You guys are going to engage Captain Velkin and see if you can maybe take her by surprise or not. We'll see. We'll see if she's ready for this type of thing.
All right. School's in session, or about to be. Got 2 more hours of Roleplay Blades coming up, so don't go away. We'll be back after this short break.
You were waiting to say that, weren't you?
I was waiting.